Hey, what's up? It's your boy Serrano. Welcome back to another video. Hope all is well. So today we're going to be talking about two budget phones that actually have a lot of things in common, and they look similar. They are designed similar. Even the boxes look very comparable, almost the same. But one thing I want to talk about in this video is how these devices are very different. So make sure you guys stay locked in to the end of the video. And if you're brand new to the channel, I truly appreciate you for coming through if you're new. But if you're already a part of the crew, salute. Alright guys, so on the left I have the UMIDIGI G100 and on the right I have the Redmi 14C. So there's a lot of things about these devices that look the same, feel the same, act the same. But one thing I want to mention is that these devices have a lot of things that look in common, but are actually very different. Now, one of the things you're going to notice is that they both have similar, bodies, similar designs. They even both have the headphone jack in the exact same spot, as well as similar camera setups on the back. They both come with clear TPU cases. They both have the red, white, and but that red and white box. This one has the purple on it, which is a little different. But yeah, for the most part, the boxes look the same. They both have 50 megapixel cameras. They both have 120 hertz refresh rates. They both have 128 gigabytes of RAM or ROM on this, so the storage is pretty much the same. But they're very different, and let's talk about why. So let's start out with what comes inside of the box for both of these devices. So right here in the UMIDIGI, we're actually getting a warranty card. We get our fast charging brick, which is going to offer you fast charging on this thing. So it's going to give you fast charging right out of the box. It also comes with the charger as well, which is also a plus. So that's going to be a solid thing for the UMIDIGI. It's got a 6,000 milliamp per hour battery with 20 watts fast charging, and then you get the charging cable included in here, which is going to be type C to type C. So it's giving you that newly designed cable, which is supposed to transfer data faster, charge faster, be more compatible with other devices such as laptops, computers, and other things that are transferable with the Type-C cable, which is basically everything nowadays. So on the Redmi 14C, you're getting a similar package. This one, instead of having the 6,000 milliamp hour battery, it's getting the 5160. So it's going to be pretty comparable. You get the SIM card remover tool in here, the case as well, 33 watts fast charging brick. But just keep in mind, this device, the Redmi 14C, is going to charge at 18 watts fast charging. It's also going to give you the, cable, and this is going to be a Type C to Type A. So it's not going to be the Type C to Type C cable that we get with the UMIDIGI phone. And so, yeah, that's one of the differences is that the UMIDIGI has 20 watts fast charging, and the Redmi is going to have 18 watts fast charging. So inside of this little cube right here, you would think that there's something in here, but there's not. It's just filler. So that's pretty much everything that comes inside the boxes for both of these phones. So you can see right away, I have the cases on both of the devices. I'm going to take these cases off, and they're also very similar. I wouldn't be surprised if you could swap them out, but one of the main differences is that, when it comes to the overall specs, it says that the UMIDIGI is going to be a different size than the Redmi Note. So, or not the Redmi Note, the Redmi 14C. So we get 6.9 inches on the UMIDIGI is going to be 6.9 inches as far as the specs go. And the Redmi is going to be 6.88. When I'm looking at them side by side, it actually looks like the Redmi, they look almost identical in size, actually, when it comes to the height of both devices when you're comparing them like next to each other. So I don't really notice any differences with the height. It looks like they're both 6.9 inches, to be honest with you. So even though it says 6.9 on the UMIDIGI and 6.88 on the Redmi, I think that they're both 6.88 or both 6.99, but if I had to speculate, the Redmi might be a little bit taller just by a hair, like barely noticeable here. So, you know, HD plus displays are going to be on both. They both have similar button placements, so you can see that the buttons are placed in the identical spot. The volume rockers are also in the same spot. The Redmi's is placed a little bit higher up. The bottom is actually, you know, basically identical. You have your Type-C cable and microphone and speaker almost in the same spot. It's barely different. On this side, same thing. So they continue to, you know, be very alike when it comes to the differences in the dimensions. They actually have the identical same weight of 7.2 ounces. So they both feel pretty much identical when it comes to the hand. The other thing you're going to notice is that the Redmi has this imitation or, you know, faux leather, whereas the UMIDIGI is going to have this smooth, you know, nice feeling phone with like a texture look to it, but it's not textured. It just looks like that. The Redmi actually has this texture and it feels like that. So yeah, they're both plastic backs as well. So I think that's kind of cool that, you know, I actually got the cases confused. But one thing I know is that the UMIDIGI one, actually I can't tell the difference between the cases now, which is crazy. So just gonna put this one over here, put this one over here. Let me see something real fast. Yeah, this is the UMIDIGI one. I know this is the UMIDIGI one. Now they didn't do the cutout for the microphone on the, oh, actually I capped. This is the Redmi one and it actually does fit on the UMIDIGI one, believe it or not. So you could even see that it's off center on the headphone jack. That's how I could tell. And the speaker port does line up, but the microphone on this one doesn't line up. So that's how I knew. So if I put this back on the UMIDIGI, you can see that the cases actually fit each other, and now the microphone cutout is in the spot that it's supposed to be in. Same thing with the cutout on the top. So this is the right case for the UMIDIGI. So now that we got that cleared out of the way, I could put them back over where they belong. And now I just want to start. I talked about the build quality. So yeah, you could see that as far as the build quality, they're very similar. You can see the camera units are going to be really similar. So as far as the design, they both have this disc over top of the camera. I'm counting 2 cameras on the Redmi, and I'm counting 3 cameras on the UMIDIGI. So that's you know, a distinct thing about both of them is that they're both going to have you know, different camera setups, obviously. So the UMIDIGI is going to have 3 and the Redmi is going to have 2 cameras. And just to talk about those cameras in some more detail, we're actually getting, and we'll get into the cameras in a little bit more detail, but they both have single firing speakers from the best of my knowledge. 50 megapixel cameras on both that have f1.8 aperture. They're both going to have a secondary camera type. The 2 megapixel on the UMIDIGI for portraits and the 0.8 on the Redmi, which is kind of weird, but it's there for backup. You also have a 2 megapixel macro camera on the UMIDIGI, which is actually useful. I've been using that and that actually works really well. They both have slow motion. On the Redmi, you can get 120 frames per second. On the slow motion on the UMIDIGI, it's 30 frames per second. And so yeah, on the front camera unit for both, they're actually going to be the 16 megapixel on the UMIDIGI and the 13 megapixel on the Redmi that have f2.0 aperture. So let's go ahead and take a look at the displays now. I'm going to unlock both of these devices. Let me put my fingerprint on each and unlock them. All right, so this is what the displays look like. As you can see, let's put the peak brightness all the way up. and they both have similar displays as well. So I did crack the UMIDIGI's display right here in the corner, but I've still been able to use it without any issues. I dropped it numerous times, and I have to say that it's a very durable device. I also dropped the Redmi. That's also a durable device too, so I really like the build quality of both. They both run 4G LTE. The Redmi and the UMIDIGI have both 3G bands, 2G bands, 4G bands. They both have dual SIMs, as well as the 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi, as well as the 2.4. Now we do get Bluetooth 5.2 on the UMIDIGI and Bluetooth 5.4 on the Redmi. So that's just a key note to throw out there. So we can get LDAC support on the Redmi, but on the UMIDIGI, I think it's only going to support SBC and AAC. So just keep that in mind. But they both have all of the navigations like AGPS, GPS, GLONASS, BIDAO, and Galileo. They're also both going to have USB 2.0 on both of these devices. So I just wanted to throw that out there. Now we're going to get into speeds, and we're going to do a speed test as well. As far as the displays, they're pretty much identical on the display side. So when it comes to the displays, I'm going to talk about that in just a second. Now, when it comes to operating both of these devices, I actually like a lot of the features on both of these phones. But when it comes to performance, it feels like the UMIDIGI is worlds ahead with the chip and processing speeds. So sometimes there is a bit of noticeable lag on the Redmi, and I'm getting notifications, so I'm going to put do not disturb on here, but it's actually on the UMIDIGI. I don't get frustrated whatsoever when I'm using that device. Obviously, I just turned on the Redmi right now, so I'm getting like lots of notifications. I'm looking for do not disturb so I could turn that on for this device and just kind of like mute all the notifications. But you can see I did hit the do not disturb button on the Redmi, and there's a huge gap between the touch response, so it doesn't react in real time on the touch response for the Redmi, which can be gut-wrenching and irritating. And for the most part, so the Redmi, I would say the UMIDIGI is worlds ahead when it comes to just performance in general. As far as like doing basic things, it's able to perform a lot faster, in my opinion. So, and that's because of two things. It's the RAM management, and the fact that it's like stock Android, so it has a lighter feel on the system software, very much lighter system. There's not like this heavy OS that it has to carry all the time. So the Redmi is carrying the Xiaomi Hyper OS, which is a lot heavier in my opinion when it comes to like RAM management and stuff like that. And so let's get into that, because you're only getting 4 gigabytes of RAM on the Redmi 14C, and you're getting 6 gigabytes of RAM on the G100. And I'm noticing, once the Redmi starts to load and you optimize it, it can be really good, especially with the touch response. It's got 240 hertz touch response and 128 like sampling rate, refresh. So you can see now the Redmi's rolling. It's rolling. I had to turn off those notifications, and now it's rolling when it comes to the touch response. So yeah, I definitely like the Redmi. Once you get it going, you can't stop it. Now I do want to get into audio quality next, but let's go into the display quality right now. And the Redmi is going to say 2160p. Just ignore this because it can't keep up to those speeds. Right here on the UMIDIGI is saying 720 and 21p on the Redmi on the same video, which kind of blows my mind away a little bit, because when you put it on the Redmi for 21, whatever it says, you're going to notice substantial slowdowns, but it can handle 1080p for sure. So obviously the display on the Redmi is a lot more cleaner in my opinion. So I definitely can see the it's brighter on the Redmi 14C. It's definitely brighter. We have they're claiming that the UMIDIGI is going to have 500 I think nits brightness, and the Redmi is going to have 450 nits brightness. But if you ask me, I think the Redmi may be a little bit brighter. So just keep that in mind. They both have the water drop notch, 120 hertz refresh rates on both, and they both look pretty solid when it comes to the display. When you're looking at it direct on, it just looks beautiful, but it does look like the colors actually look a little bit brighter on the Redmi, just by a little bit. But honestly, yeah, I could see that it is brighter. They both have facial recognition and fingerprint sensors and expansion with the storage, as well as headphone jacks, which is also a really good thing about both of these phones. But just keep in mind, these phones don't rock on a table except for this way because of that uneven camera bump. So they both rock this way, not side by side, but at the top there's that camera bump, which is angled the exact same way on both phones. So I want to do a speaker test right now so you can hear the difference when it comes to the sound quality. Alright guys, so the mic is right here. Let's test out the Redmi, or the UMIDIGI right now, the UMIDIGI G100. Alright, let's test out the Redmi 14C. Alright, so like that was actually really closer than I could have imagined. But let me know which one you thought sounded better when it comes to the audio quality of both of these smartphones right here. So the next thing I want to talk about is the performance. I'm going to actually clear out both of the all the apps on these phones, and as you can see, they're all open. The Redmi doesn't have as many apps open because I don't think it can handle as much RAM that the UMIDIGI can. The UMIDIGI seems to be way better when it comes to multitasking. And the other thing is that you don't get split screen on the Redmi. When it comes to this phone, you can only get single panels. You can't actually do multitasking on this device. It just can't do that. So if you try to do, that, it's just going to open up an app and it's not going to let you do split screen. But on the UMIDIGI, it actually handles it without any issues. So I just want to mention that the UMIDIGI is a lot better when it comes to speed and also multitasking. So let's go ahead and clear both of these out when it comes to all the apps. All right, so they're both cleared out, optimal state and 192 cleared. Let's do Play Store on the count of 3. I have use my pointer on both, and we're just gonna tap it at the same time. 1, 2, 3. So you can see there was a delay, even though I tapped it at the same time on the Redmi. It just opened up a lot slower there. Let's go with similar apps on both. Let's go to the Bible on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. And so even though I tapped them at the same time, let's see which one opens faster. So the UMIDIGI opened up much faster when it came to the Bible app. So let's do Audible. 1, 2, 3. At that time, the Redmi responded pretty quick. Let's see if it can win this one. It was right behind it, and then it didn't Let me clear this. That was pretty close, but let me do a different app because that one didn't actually open. Let's do Meta. We're gonna do Meta on both. 1, 2, 3. So the Redmi again took a while to respond there. It took a real long time to respond there. So the UMIDIGI already played the video first. The Redmi's just now playing the video. So let's go back into Facebook or Meta one more time. And let's scroll. Let's do some scrolling. And you can't browse social media anymore without so many distractions. It's like they're trying to keep your attention now. That's why I barely ever use social media anymore unless this is AI. This is definitely AI. There's a lot of AI and there's a lot of fake news on this, and it's just a lot of distraction from what's really going on. So this is definitely AI, like right there. This dude, that's not a real person. I'm sorry. As far as scrolling speeds, they're both doing a really good job. Like you can see, they both look absolutely gorgeous. As far as the panels, the Redmi's handling scrolling without any issues. Let's go into IG 1, 2, 3. And so that time Redmi reacted pretty quick, but it was just a bit slower than the UMIDIGI as far as the speeds. So yeah, that basically sums up everything. We could do a couple more apps. Let's do Spotify. Well, no, let's do YouTube. I definitely want to do YouTube just to see which one will open faster when it comes to the tube. So let's go down. And here is YouTube. We're going to hit it at the same time. And it looks like I'm tapping the UMIDIGI first, but it's actually the same time. So 1, 2, 3. And you see it did it again. So yeah, the UMIDIGI is much faster when it comes to opening up apps. But one thing about software is that the Redmi has 2 years of OS updates that they will give you on a Redmi phone. And so it's a lot more customizable. And I'm going to show you why. So if you go on the Redmi phones, not only do you get the 2 years of updates on a Redmi phone, but you also do get 3 years of security patches. On the UMIDIGI phone, I just think they give you 2 years of security patches without any OS updates. But I did get some security patches on the UMIDIGI already. But I don't think they promised any OS updates on this device. So the Redmi definitely has the one up when it comes to customizable features, because you're going to get your own standalone app for downloading themes. You can see I have a theme on here right now, and you do get themes on the UMIDIGI, but it's just not. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So it's cool that UMIDIGI does give you this thing called so you get this thing called desktop. You can kind of customize this thing. Let me see, style right here. So you could do the style. You could also, let me see, there's a theme thing as well that I'm trying to look for, and I think it's inside of settings. So screen, you can customize the screen, widgets, desktop, style, optimization. Okay, there it is, optimization. So this is the themes for the UMIDIGI. So you get 6 of them, and then you get the wallpapers right here on the UMIDIGI, and then that's all the customization that you're getting. So you're getting the wallpapers here, and you're getting the themes here. So you get 6 themes, but the Redmi is going to give you unlimited themes. It gives you hundreds of themes to play around with, and they're all customizable. They allow you to do all categories, so you can get wallpapers, ringtones, fonts, and customize it to your personal preference until your heart's content. Then you can click categories, and they have all these different categories to choose from. So you can customize it, and you won't even recognize the phone when you're done with it, because that's how many features that it has when it comes to this theme store that it's using built in. So I can definitely say that when it comes to updates and when it comes to overall customization, the Redmi is definitely a better phone to go with if that's something that you actually prefer more. So next I want to jump into cameras, and I also want to jump into, you know, gaming, and then we'll wrap up the video. So if you open up the cameras for both of these phones, I actually think that they both do a really good job. So right here I just have it on standard capture mode. So they both have night photos as well. They both have the 50 megapixel camera on here too, that they both can utilize that. So let's take a picture with the 50 megapixel on the Redmi, and let's do it with the UMIDIGI, and let's see the results. Okay, that was weird. So you can see that the Redmi is a bit more sluggish, but you can see right here the details of the photo, and I'll put those up on the screen just to make it a little bit easier to look at. But honestly, when it comes to details, I think the Redmi might be a little bit better, but they both did actually a really good job with the details. So yeah, it's pretty close. They both do a really good job with the details. It's hard to give a winner, but honestly, this might be a tie right here with the 50 megapixel camera that they're using. I can't even front. They both did a really good job with that. Kind of want to show you the front facing camera when it comes to portraits now. And I think they're both pretty much even when it comes to the cameras, to be honest with you. They're both going to be like pretty similar. So let's flip the camera around. I'm going to take a portrait of my face right now. This is the Redmi and the UMIDIGI. So it says that we have the 60 megapixel on the UMIDIGI and the 13 megapixel on the Redmi. If I was to look at both, I like the Redmi. I definitely like the Redmi better. Has better, more accurate details on my face. And I think it does an overall better job. But as far as performance, I'm noticing that the colors are a little bit more accurate. And we both have HDR turned on with both. As you can see right here, they both have HDR turned on. I'm going to take another photo. I don't know, it just looks like the color, my face is more accurate and more realistic on the Redmi, with sharper details, and it just looks way more HD. Like, it looks kind of blurry on my face on the UMIDIGI for some reason. So I'm not sure what the settings are that I have on this camera, but yeah, it's definitely better front facing camera on the Redmi because I have it on super fine, and I'm still not getting the details that I would get on the Redmi's front facing camera. So for the Redmi, there's actually in the settings an option where you can activate this gaming turbo mode right here. It's called Game Turbo, and under special features, and it optimizes the games. So I'm gonna go ahead and play some PUBG in here. I think it might have the advantage over the UMIDIGI, but we're going to test out PUBG on both devices and kind of see what the difference is. So it's boosted performance right here on the UMIDIGI. There's no actual game option for the boosted performance on the Redmi, but on the UMIDIGI there's no boosted mode. It's just whatever you get out of the box for gaming. So we're going to test out both and see which one I like a little bit more when it comes to preference. So let's see how the gaming runs on both of these devices. Alright, so on the Redmi 14C, you have your speaker right here. You might want to put some headphones in because it's easy to cover, but you have 4 gigabytes of RAM, but you can actually expand it to 8, which I have downloaded 8 altogether with the 4 virtual. I'm using the Helio G81 processing chip. And the Helio G81 Ultra processing chip is actually amazing. This chip is actually amazing, and you get 240 hertz refresh rate on this, so it just feels extremely smooth no matter what I'm doing. Let me see if I could catch somebody sleeping. Okay, not today. Alright, so I'm still waiting for first blood. Oh, that was crazy. So the guy had my back right there. Let me catch cover because I see him lurking. Ooh, that was a crazy kill. Okay, so this is nuts. The G81 Ultra is actually pretty impressive, especially with the 240 hertz. Oh, that was nuts. So yeah, I'm catching fire right now with the G181 Ultra processing chip. Okay, I got 6 kills in a row. I think it's safe to say that this is a really good phone when it comes to gaming. So I'm having a really good time. We're actually destroying this team. I don't know if it's just like they're all bots or something. But yeah, this is definitely, we're running away with this one. We only got 9 more kills, so I might as well finish this off. Wow, and my team is actually solid too. This is like the first time I've had a good team. We just need like 2 more kills. Okay, 3 more kills and 4 more kills actually. I'm gonna wrap up the video after this. 3 in a row streak. Okay, we got the kill. Let's lock into the UMIDIGI now. Let me see. Did I get MVP? I almost got like 10 kills in that one. Let me see. 9 kills. Okay, so that I did pretty good. It's 3rd best, not too bad. Speakers sound really good on here too, but that gaming mode on the Redmi 14C is the game turbo is not to be. If you want to game on this device, I think you're not going to be disappointed with it. You're truly not going to be disappointed with it. Let's jump into the Redmi right now. Not the Redmi. Let's jump into the UMIDIGI right now. I'm going to jump into this phone real quick. All right, so now we're going to jump into the UMIDIGI G100. I have the brightness all the way up. Let's see. So we have the Unisoc T615. The T615 with 6 GB of RAM. Just to be honest, let's go ahead and put the graphics all the way up to make sure that it's smooth. Okay, yeah, it's smooth and ultra. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Okay, so let me see. For some reason it's not that bright. Let me turn up the brightness. Okay, just to be 100% honest with you, it doesn't feel as smooth as okay, I got first blood. So it's running really smooth. It doesn't feel But you could definitely feel that it doesn't have 240. You could definitely feel it doesn't have 240 touch hertz sampling rate, which is actually so good on the Redmi. I got second kill. Okay, we're doing something right now. It does feel smooth and there's no lag though. It's just missing the 240 hertz for touch sampling rate, but it feels good. It feels good. It feels real good. My team is actually okay. So he caught me. As far as speeds though, it's not too bad. I am missing that 240 hertz touch sampling rate, but other than that, the graphics look pretty crispy. It does feel pretty responsive. No lag whatsoever. So I'm not complaining right now. So far so good. Okay, yeah, I snuck in that kill real fast.
The blue team is in the lead.
Okay, so he hunted me down on that one. So I got 3 kills. I don't feel that bad I don't feel like this is bad at all. I actually feel like this is really good.
Reloading.
He thought he was slick. I'm gonna sneak up on him because he thought he was slick. Okay, so he saw me coming from way out. I don't know how he saw me coming, but he definitely crept up on me. So this, okay, there's 2 of them. That's why there's 2 of them right there. I'm gonna get one of them. Oh, damn. They're killing the whole squad right there. Let me see. He's got to come out either way. Okay, so I got the kill right there, number 4. We just need 4 more kills actually, and we got the dub. And that'll make it 2 in a row. Okay, so we're definitely gonna win this. As far as the performance, I didn't do as good as I did on the Redmi. I felt like I did a lot better on the Redmi because of that touch sampling rate. But yeah, we definitely got the kill. We definitely got the... Let me lock that in. Let me put that in because I don't want to. I want to make sure that counts towards my score. Okay, so last game we got 9 kills. This game we got 4 kills. So I definitely can say that the Redmi did perform a little bit better when it comes to gaming. But overall performance, the UMIDIGI does do a better job with multitasking, and it does do a better job when it comes to just like overall RAM management. I definitely would pick the Redmi. Customization, software updates, and software on the system, it goes to the Redmi. But the UMIDIGI just does a better job when it comes to like day-to-day tasks. It definitely is going to be much faster, much smoother. The gaming mode on the Redmi is sick because you get the 240 hertz touch sampling rate. You do get 12 gigabytes of RAM on the UMIDIGI, which is really cool. Cameras are pretty similar with the 50 megapixel, but when it comes to the front-facing camera, the Redmi is definitely better because it makes my skin look smoother, more realistic, and it looks like sharper on the Redmi. So yeah, overall, but I do like the macro camera on the UMIDIGI. That's something that I really like. It has this macro camera, and it doesn't have that on the Redmi. But for instance, if I take a macro shot of this guy right here, and then I show you guys, that macro camera does a really good job of getting details close up. So I really like the fact that it does have a macro camera. But yeah, overall, if I had to pick one of these phones to use as a daily driver, it's really hard because the G100 is so much quicker when it comes to reaction times, and it's much smoother. And so if I was just a normal person, I'd probably get the UMIDIGI, but because I like to customize phones so much, I definitely like how the Redmi has all those themes in there and the software updates too. You also have a bigger battery on the UMIDIGI, the 6,000 milliampere hour battery versus the 5,160. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. It's really close overall, but I'm gonna get back with you. Let me know what you guys think, and if you're still here, just type down below I'm still here, so I know you're still kicking it with me. And I just want to remind you to hit the like button so we can get this video out to more people and help beat the YouTube algorithm. I'll hit you back. I'll check you guys later. Namaste.